I'd like to apologize for how the audio sounds, but other than that, this is probably one of my best tutorials that I've done so far, so please enjoy. I think that people would watch my channel more if I had a British accent. That's just me being me. Hello. Welcome back to Guy. Yep, that's my channel name, Guy. So, today I realized that probably the past week or so, there's one video, my first tutorial ever, made about 2 months ago, has ranked up some views for like a small channel like me, like 25 subscribers, and it's gotten about 240 views in the past week or so, and I've gotten like some kind of a bigger inflow of subscribers from that. But I was depriving y'all. I was depriving you guys of the best way to make skin, and so we're gonna do that today. Make a new project, delete everything, and then I'm going to append ahead from another project. This was actually the project for the last tutorial about skin. So we're just gonna give him that, and actually, you know what? Let's give him some eyes too, cause everybody needs some eyes. Let's enable screen space refraction, and then we can see him. Okay, the thing is this skin is from the last tutorial. Okay, by the way, this is terrible. Okay, no one is ever impressed by this type of skin. This is bad. This is not this is not good at all. But we're gonna make better skin. We're gonna make much better skin. Okay, so make a new material. Just call this something like skin. Oh, if you want to know where I got the model from, it's this model right here on Sketchfab called Kirk Starkhead Head Male Crisp Pine, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go Shift A, image texture. Let's just make a new image texture. Okay. Now we're just going to hit new, and we're just gonna call this skin test mahuga ning, because we can. Let's make this like the craziest, just literally the craziest number that we can. So maybe 5,000 or 6,000. Okay, I'm just gonna 6,000, because I can. So we're going to put the white all the way up and do that, and we'll get some pretty bad skin. Okay, this is nothing to be impressed by. So let's open a new window. Let's change this to image editor. Get our image, and you're gonna have to scale back quite a lot, and we're just gonna save that. All right, it's gonna save because it's kind of a big file. Let's join those areas. And now let's go to texture paint. Alright, so we're not going to be using anything with, I don't know what I was going for there. We are not going to be using anything with vertex paint. Okay, we're just going to be using texture paint. And so this is how we're going to do it. Click on the image texture. Okay, now let's go into texture paint. If you have white, you can paint white on there, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. You can go ahead and sculpt this face if you want. The great thing is that once you make your skin texture, your skin map thing, then all you have to do from there is you can literally sculpt on this model every single time, and then just add that material to it, and it'll stretch the texture to where their face is. And so you don't even need to do this process every single time. You can just make one and sculpt on this guy forever. So where do we get these skin textures? Oh, well, a lot of weird faces here, but you can look up unwrapped face textures. You can download so many of them just off of Google. Now, these ones aren't really good at all okay. These aren't good. This one's pretty good. This one's okay. You want to go for one that doesn't have a lot of shadows. But the great thing is that I kind of already have one. You can also go to texturing XYZ and get them from there. But for now, I'm just going to use this one that I have. So we have our texture. We want it to be a texture. Then go to texture panel in the tool settings. Set it to stencil. Now you're going to see it in here. And you're like, Reed, how are you moving around? Are you going G? Are you doing that, huh? No, for right click on your mouse, you want to have a mouse, okay? If you're a 3D artist and you don't have a mouse, I don't know what you're doing, but have a mouse, all right? Right click is going to move it. Shift right click, that's just going to scale it. And control right click is it's going to turn around pretty nutty there. So we have this thing, and I'm just going to try to make that a little smaller. And what I like to do first is one, you can go Shift X and then move it like that. Sometimes it moves its dimensions to a different place. Sometimes it doesn't work. I think this one maybe worked. I don't know. What you can do, I just like to line it up at first, you know. Rotate it to where it needs to go. Um, I just like to get the features kind of together. And then I like to paint the big parts of the face. So, per se, the top of the forehead, that's a really good place to start. The chin is really good. And kind of just paint these parts that are like that. You can do the lips, but honestly, there are parts of the face that you want to focus a much larger part of your attention towards, like the eyes, the eyelids, the ears. Definitely, the ears is probably one of the most difficult parts, and the lips. You want to focus on all those parts, and because it is going to look really, really nice. Sorry, my dog was barking, and I knew that you guys probably wouldn't want to hear that for the next like 10 minutes or so. And plus, you probably don't want to stay that long for video. You have much better things to do. So let's just sit here. How you doing? Doing good? I don't know, man. Sounds like you're not doing good. Well, thanks for hopping on. Anyways, I don't know if I can do this. Let's listen to some music for like 20 more seconds.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billion Tea. Thought about it now, though it fully was low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea. And
it's too much meme. Okay, so we're done. So when you're done, well, all you need to do is just click out of the texture so that you can see in the front view. Remember to go up here and just hit save, and it'll save it automatically, and also save your project. All right, now let's go here, and it's looking pretty good. We have some pretty high detailed images, and you don't even have to keep it at like 5 or 6,000 for the image texture. I mean, you can do like 12K, 10K, 12K. I mean, you can do all you want. Let's add an HDRI. I am loving that one. I've been using it a lot recently. And let's switch to cycles, because right now we're in EV. And yeah, that looks pretty good. But you're probably wondering, it seems a bit empty. Well, there's a couple of things that we can do. So one, you can take a bump map, and since this is a really high numbered image, high resolution image, so you can add a bump map, and it'll do kind of a weird thing. You can lower it, and it kind of gives it that texture just based off the image. But you can kind of see on the parts like this that they're kind of grainy a bit. Overall, they kind of keep the texture together. But maybe instead of doing that, let's try something else. So take this head, add a modifier. Now we will do just a little bit of sculpting. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. We're just going to add a multi-resolution modifier 4 times and send it to 1 in the viewport. And then go into sculpting. And what you can do is in Google, you can go to Pixel Logic brushes in the alpha library per se. And then you can go down to skins, and you have all these skin textures. Now, a lot of these are like weird stuff, but you get here, we have like a bunch of pimples and pores and wrinkles, and you can even use the ones that are like kind of extraterrestrial too, if you want. Like this is elephant skin, and then you can use these, which are veins. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can use. So definitely use those, and I actually have some downloaded. So I'm just gonna go to download. I can look up wrinkles. I can use this one right here. I'm gonna go to tool settings, going to go to texture, make that area plane, make the stroke anchored, and then set the strength to like 0.2, even 0.3. Alright, we want these probably under the eyes. Let's just hit minus because we kind of want these going in. And probably the same over here. Hit X for mirroring, so it's going to be off a bit. Hit X. Yeah. Then let's add a new texture. Okay, so let's add a new one. I have them saved under skin pores. I think it's right here. I usually use that one. And then the same thing, it kind of saves the data for it. Alright, so on the nose, we have some pretty big pores, as always. And then you just kind of want to keep going around under the nose, on the chin. We have a lot of pores on the chin. We have among these parts of the brow up here as well. And yeah, and then I mean you can just keep going and stuff. And so that kind of saves it. You can kind of see some of it. You need to go to 4 on the multi-resolution modifier to kind of fix that. So let's look at it, and it's still looking pretty similar. We just have a little more skin detail. But what we can do is now we get to use vertex color like we did in the last tutorial. So just go shift. Actually, we're gonna add a vertex color. So minus these if you have any, and then I'm just gonna go plus. I'm gonna go shift A, input vertex colors, and then color. I'm gonna make the color right? And you can see the bump is still there just because we have the bump map, but it doesn't really matter. It's all right. So let's go to texture paint, but actually change it to vertex paint, and then I'm just gonna make a new window for the shader editor. Just gonna hit in so it minimizes that part. Now save it. Just again, go to paint, dirty vertex colors. It's pretty crazy right now, so let's just go to 3, and sometimes go to material preview just to see how it'll look. What this is going to do is this is going to be our subsurface. So this is going to provide some subsurface scattering. So it looks like this. I mean, if you want to do like a toon shader for a bunch of people, I guess you can use this. So just put the factor into the subsurface, and what we're just gonna get a bunch of red. And this is exactly kind of what it looks in the last tutorial, just this kind of weird subsurface color. We don't want this to be super harsh, so what we're gonna do is we're just going to take a math node. And I know you're just like, math, like what the heck, why is there math inside of this? Set it to multiply. That's really all you need to know. Okay, and then we are going to put this back into the color. and then we can see kind of what it looks like. So now we have the red parts on the nose, the red parts on the eyebrows, on the ears, all where they're supposed to be. And you can even lower this value if you want. Usually I keep it at 0.5, just because that's kind of where it looks the best. And then you can also change this up, but for the most part this looks good. Can we do more? Of course we freaking can. Okay, add in a mix shader, my friendo. Put this one on the bottom, and you're going to learn why. So get a diffuse BSDF. Plug it into there, and then change the color to complete white so that we can see, or to complete black so that we can see the other one. All right. Put ambient occlusion in the color into the factor. And there we go. You see nothing, and that's exactly what we wanted the whole time. Put in a color ramp in between it. This is going to act as an edge detection node with ambient occlusion, a color ramp, and a diffuse BSDF. Just super simple, and the only way that you can see these is when you go into here, and you can actually see if we just take away this, if we just put the color into the surface, you can see some things change. But let's put it back, and you can see that some things happen. So let's move this black to about right here, and then you can see some dark parts really start to come out. And this is just an easy way to sort of avoid vertex paint, so that you don't have to paint those parts in. You can kind of just do it procedurally. And so what we can do is we can add a math node. What I like to do first is I like to change the color. I'm going to change this to a purplish type of color in these parts. The darker parts, I want to give them a purple color. You can even change it to pink or whatever. That is just the super small detail. But now you can see that the dark parts around the eyes and under the eyes and on the ears, they kind of all change just by this tiny little node. So he's starting to look pretty realistic, like, without all the hair and stuff. Can we make him look better? You're like, Reed, how can we go farther from this? Well, get a mix RGB, okay? Now he kind of looks like Edward Scissorhands, but a great movie. Put the color to the color. This texture that I'm about to pull up, I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. I'm just gonna look up Grinch because I call this the Grinch skin. Always choose the albedo. And it's gonna look like this, okay? It's gonna bring this super weird raw skin looking material. Okay, this material is called animal flesh. You can get it from Quixel Mixer or Quixel Bridge, wherever you get your materials from Quixel. And it's an animal flesh texture, and I really, really like it. I learned it from an Adobe Substance video of this girl who was texturing like this medieval elf or something. I kind of liked how it looked. I liked how it provided that kind of variation, and so I decided to use it if I just wanted some more imperfections to the skin, because skin, especially younger people's skin, it can be just too perfect. It can just be a little too perfect, and a little too fine. So yeah, hit Control T. By the way, hit Control T, and just change the location to, like, I don't know, 4. Sometimes I do 4. Sometimes I do 1. I don't really know why it's not changing. Maybe do generated. Yeah. Do object coordinates. No, actually don't do object coordinates. Do UV. Yes, do UV coordinates. And kind of just change this till you get something that you like. So 1, 1.4. I like kind of how 1.4 looks, so I'm just gonna set this to 0. And it looks a little weird. Like, if we look in this view right here, we've lost a lot of what the old skin looked like, and it's just a little too imperfect now. And then we've lost a lot of the subsurface scattering and stuff like that. So what you want to do is go to mix and change that to overlay. And it's gonna come out pretty dark. The lips are gonna be pretty red, so just kind of turn that back till you get there. And then you can see that it starts to have a lot more of that imperfection. Like, here, I'll show you what it is without it. So this is it without it. Okay, it looks pretty bland. But now, let's add it. Close your eyes. This is it with, okay? It changes it a lot, actually. It actually changes how it looks like a lot. And I like that. I really like that. We can put it maybe to like right there. And then the subsurface scattering is pretty harsh, maybe to 0.3 or 0.4. Now, let's look at it. Yeah, he is looking really, really good. So, yeah, that is exactly how you make this prison. So, when we added the Grinch skin, it kind of made the other skin a bit darker. So, what you can do is you can grab an RGB curve, throw it into here. If you go up, that's lighter. If you go down, it's darker. Maybe we want to go somewhere like right here. There you go. You have your pushing. You have your skin for your pushing. Do you like it? Cool. So this this is kind of just how to make really, really good looking skin. I mean, there's so many other things that you can do to make this look better. This is just the way that I always do it. And the more I learn, the more tutorials I watch, the more that I add stuff that just makes it look better. But yeah, for now, this is the tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Keep learning Blender, keep learning that stuff, and subscribe if you'd love to. So thank you guys, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.